And Professor, you're going to get the questions here. New York State, yeah, I know you're on overtime.
I was hoping you'd ask my question.
New York State, we say we have this issue with emissions, but upstate New York, where I represent, our grid is already, pretty much 90% emission-free, largely due to hydroelectric power and nuclear. New York City, on the other hand, is roughly 30%, so we have a long way to go there. But my question is, this is global climate change. What percentage does New York contribute to global emissions? What percentage of the total?
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
So we've done all this study. We have an estimate of $270 billion. We really don't know what impact this will have on global climate change if we do all this?
I don't want to give you a wrong number off the top of my head is what I'm saying. It's obviously small. I think we're something like 9% of the U.S. emissions. Mm-hmm. U.S. emissions are what, about 35% of global, so 3%.
If you do that math, it's about 0.4%. But I can't believe in 2 years of the Climate Action Council that didn't come up as a question, because we're talking about devastating New York State's economy to do this. So in the end, what are we really going to get for it? Are we going to have any significant impact on global climate change if we completely decarbonize the grid?
And the answer is yes. We'll have a tremendous, because we'll set an example of how it can be done. And as the scoping plan shows, it should be beneficial to all New Yorkers, to the average person. And if we, as a state, can set an example of how all other states can do it, all other governments can do it, we're what, New York economy is maybe the 10th or 11th largest economy in the world. If we can do it here, it can be done anywhere. And so
we're going to set an
that
example.
is where we make the difference. And I think there's an economic benefit to the state in being in that leadership role.
Well, I would argue that we're setting an example, much like the first lemming off the cliff sets an example for the rest of them. But that being said, how long ago did you convert your home to electric, you were saying? How long ago was that?
Heat pump, 2014.
2014, so 8 years ago, 9 years ago. What did it cost you to convert that?
After
If you don't mind me asking, like how much did it cost you?
It cost me about $30,000.
About $30,000. So just for the sake of argument, $30,000 9 years ago, let's just say it's $50,000.
It'd actually be cheaper now because the technology's come down. Okay. I estimated I could do it for $20,000 today.
I've heard estimates from $40,000 to $100,000. So let's just say $40,000 on the low end. 6 million homes, that's $240 billion. How are we going to convert everything for $270 billion if it's going to cost us $240 billion on the low end to convert 6 million private homes? And you said buildings are the actually biggest source of emissions. Yeah. That's not even discussing converting commercial buildings.
So, no, I'll give the same answer I gave before, which is I think one of the best funding mechanisms we can do is for the utilities to go out and raise private equity funds at low interest loans, use those again, either through legislative action or through the Public Utilities Commission, encourage the utilities to be the funders for the conversion. So there's no cost to the homeowner up front. And in my case, we paid it off in 5.5 years. I don't think there's any case in the state where the payback would be much over 10 years. Ours was number 2 fuel oil. That's expensive. Natural gas payoff times would be longer, quite frankly, but still less than 10 years. And so, that's an affordable cost. The homeowner would pay nothing more than they pay now under that model. There's no penalty to them, and the state benefits.
Well, the cost of electricity obviously is being paid by somebody because it's subsidized. Every single kilowatt hour of green energy is heavily subsidized from beginning to end. It never ends. The subsidies, because the cost of generating power from wind and solar is much higher than the market rate of electricity. So literally every taxpayer in New York State subsidizes that lower cost to you for your electric heat pump. So because you're on all renewable energy. And even then, the cost is higher. So that's going to be an issue I think we're going to have to address, the fact that perpetual subsidies forever for green energy. And last question quickly, again with hydrogen, why not? I know you said it's dangerous, but on a smaller percentage, wouldn't that help having a more diverse portfolio to have hydrogen? It's clean and renewable.
If it's green hydrogen, then it's clean, yes. But the problem is, let's say you mixed 20% hydrogen into a methane natural gas distribution system. It has a lighter fuel density, so you're actually only decreasing the overall emissions by 7%, not 20%. And it's expensive, and it's the opportunity cost. If we use that energy that created the hydrogen instead to power the heat pumps, we get a far, far better return in energy end in dollars. It makes economic sense. 20% is pushing the limit of what any engineer thinks these systems can hold. And I'll point out, if you go higher than that, the homeowner will also have to get a new furnace and a new gas stove and a new water heater because it's not designed to handle that kind of hydrogen. And that's extraordinarily expensive. So I think it's a totally wrong path to go.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.